Hi, everybody. Hi, welcome to today's episode of Lay It Out with Lonnie. Your host, Lonnie, here, and in tonight's lineup, we'll focus our attention on a rather peculiar topic. And guys, I'm excited about this one. We'll be exploring humor as a quote, interactional sense-making practice and examines how public safety employees and their family members navigate the relationship between work and home. And what I've just read is a quote pulled from the abstract of the study that we'll use as cross-reference. A short brief on this study, and I highly recommend that y'all read it on your own time, too. Researchers explored the unvisited depths of humor and its allowance in modern-day culture and family life. And this research has a particular emphasis on the double lives of public safety employees, or PSEs. Using qualitative methods, which are common research techniques such as interviews, focus groups, and observation, the study explores humor as an interactional sense-making practice in which PSEs and their families frame and enact their situations through the jokes and stories they share, select a preferred interpretation, and then affirm and retain the information in memorable ways to navigate the stressful nature of the PS job. And to follow that lengthy mouthful of an introduction, folks, I'd like to welcome tonight's guest, Eugene Grant. Hi, Eugene. Welcome to the show. Hi, I'm glad to be here. Okay, so we're more than ecstatic to have you on. Let's dive in. You'll be thrilled to hear that I already provided the audience with a loose, arguably sloppy reiteration of the study. To counter the situation, do you mind delivering a clearer take on your study? Oh, but first, can you also explain to us a little more about yourself? Well, yes, I'm a professor and senior researcher at the Research Institute of Liverpool. My work heavily centers on familial affairs and their role in both public and private spheres. I've been in the game for about 16 years now. Oh, and I'm so glad that we're discussing this specific study because it is the perfect introduction to a sea of an underlying psychology that we all tend to disregard, you know? Eugene, I'm super excited to get into these questions. Thank you for your detailed responses so far. Okay, so right off the bat, in the study, there were rather interesting concepts that are completely foreign to the culture. Can you give an idiot's guide in defining the terms sense-making and sense-breaking? This is an excellent question. Well, let's break down the scientific definition. First, sense-giving is best defined as the process of attempting to influence the sense-making and meaning construction of others towards a preferred redefinition of organizational reality. Essentially, I analogize this concept with blinding someone or shoving a bright light in someone's face in a dark room. The situation here is I'm creating an individualized perception of reality, the light. However, the real reality is that the room is dark. See, there's a false impression here because it has been received and deemed acceptable. Then it has become an impermeable subject, leaving no room for countered interpretations. It's indistinguishable. There's a nuance being delivered here. A slight shift in relational paradigm where person A intentionally curves reality for person B through humor and storytelling. Sense-breaking, on the other hand, works to challenge the political intricacies and fallacies behind the assumptions people make about a person or situation. In layman's terms, the destruction or breaking down of meaning. What an immersive response. Did you notice overlap among these concepts in your research? Yes, which was an interesting factor alone, hence why we reserved those findings for a future study on the hemispheres of these attributions. Wow, all right. Well, I have two questions for you, but one is interrelational with the other being intra-relational. Did you notice any characteristic tropes within families? Like, did any stereotypes or presumptions hold true for families with PSE? If not, were there any commonalities between families, or were they distinctive in their own right? The answer is not as black and white as I wish it could be. Every scientist has their own opinion. There's no correct answer on this, but I believe there is a loose correlation with familial behavior. However, this is an unfair argument because our study did not accentuate room to record common tropes, so I have no data to back my opinion. I would love to see a more thorough analysis on it, though. Near the end of your study, you implicate that these humor-centric concepts could be regional, especially since the participants were all from the Midwestern states. In what ways could families from other regions react to their PSE loved one that differs from Midwest families? That's an excellent research question. I could conjure up a few ways, such as California fires, or heat advisories in the far west, or higher crime rates in larger populated cities. I mean, the list goes on. The Midwest consensus for crime rates are relatively medium-low to other regions. I think it's plausible, but only demonstrative research rewards truth, and we have yet to see that. Awesome. Well, I believe that our time is coming to a close. Unfortunately, Eugene, but thank you again for coming to the studio and sprinkling your genius on us feeble-minded. Aw, you're too kind. This was a fun, engaging discussion. We shall do it again. Yes, definitely. Well, folks, thank you for tuning in for tonight's special. I want you guys to stay safe and stay well, and don't forget to stay swole. This audio recording was not filmed in front of a live audience.